Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and welcome to the Now, the Spiritual News Show on today, Monday the 22nd of July. And so the angel guide reading for this week. So the angel guides ask us to refocus ourselves, not on what's going on in our lives, but on what we really want in our lives. And so they're asking us to actually stop those thought patterns that we keep on recurring, going around and around in our minds of what that is actually going on already in our lives, and switch our focus to what we want, and so have more thoughts of how you want your life to be. So you can do this by daydreaming, you can write it down as well. That's a really powerful way of doing it. And what they're really wanting us to do is to clear doubt, because they're saying that doubt is a big resistance in our lives, and the ascension process especially is all about clearing resistance and going with the flow of life. Now when we have doubt, we can't do this. The opposite of doubt is faith. And so what they're saying is they're wanting us to develop more faith by focusing our thoughts on what we want from life, so that we can have more of those experiences. You see, what happens with faith is when we set little targets for ourselves, when we imagine great things happening in our lives, just little things, and we allow them into our lives, then our faith grows as we experience these things happening. And so they're wanting us to really remove doubt, but not by focusing on doubt, by focusing on faith, by focusing on what we want to happen. And then your experiences will build that faith up and make it easier to have faith over the bigger things. Also, they want to let us know that everything's okay. There's not a problem. They're saying that many people are focusing on things that they see as problems in the world. So when you're raising your vibration, it's important to have experienced what you don't want in order to raise your vibration to know what you do want. But a lot of people will still focus on those things that they don't want, thinking that nobody should want those things, and that's not the truth. Those things that we have turned away from, that we don't want in our lives anymore, they're important for other people to still experience those. Just as we needed to experience them to grow from there, there are many people that still need to experience those things to grow from there. And so we're talking about things in the environment, things in society, all of these maybe control structures and things like that. It's really important not to protest it, not to try and change it, because there are some people that need that experience in their lives in order for them to be able to grow. And so instead of focusing on the things that you've kind of moved away from, which keeps you actually attached to those things, and it means that you haven't really moved away from it, just let them go. Know that everything's okay, know that everything needs to exist, all of the contrast needs to exist, but it doesn't need to exist in your life, it just needs to exist for other people. And so let that go, let that feeling of wanting to change it for everyone else go. And so it's important to know that everybody is a creator spirit here. Everyone's here to learn. We're all learning different things at different times. It's not it doesn't have to be everybody learning the same thing at the same time. That's not the way it goes. There needs to be full contrast from negative to positive, from bad things to good things. That needs to be present for people to be able to grow. And because there is such a range of spirits here learning different things, then we need that contrast to be here in order to do that. But it doesn't need to be in your life, and so you can release that. And so in Ascension News for this week, so the Lemurian Masters are saying that they're focusing on the heart at the moment, and so we're doing a lot of heart chakra clearing, and especially of old feelings that you don't really want to feel. So feelings that you're pushing down from old situations, from maybe old relationships, things that have happened that are so upsetting, so emotional for you that you don't want to feel it, and so you're pushing it down. And so everyone has these, and these are coming out at the moment. So you might have noticed already in the last few days that things have come up and you're having to actually feel these things again. And so it's good to feel it. It's good to feel it and let those emotions out, because when you try and push them down, it doesn't let them go at all. It just pushes them down and it stays within your energy. And these are heart resistances. So these are resistances that are actually stopping you from ascending. And so they need to be let go of. And so it's important to to feel those feelings and let it go, and do the self-forgiveness and the forgiveness of others that goes with that. Also important at the same time to release it from the mind. And so when we have these too painful to want to feel it kind of emotions that are inside us, we tend to attach false excuses to those in our mind. And so if there's something that's just so hard to feel, you don't want to feel it, you may have given yourself an excuse like, it wasn't really my fault, or I don't need to, that's somebody else's problem, I don't need to feel that, or, you know, there's all sorts of excuses that we make and then we believe that allow us to keep these feelings down. And so they're asking us to actually examine these excuses that we have, these false excuses, and let those go. If this is about really owning up to what's really going on inside of you so that you can release it. And this is the biggest part of the healing process. First of all, it's really important to own it. You know, you've got to own the feelings and the things within yourself that you need to heal. And when you do that, it's really quick to heal from that point, because once you've fully owned it, you can shine this bright light on it and it dissipates really, really quickly. And so, as well as removing things, removing the emotions from the heart and letting those out, and removing these excuses that we have in our mind, we also want to focus on releasing responsibility for other people. Okay, and so this is about when we have made choices which have affected other people. What they want us to know is that it was that other people's choice to be affected by your choices, and so it's not your responsibility to take that on. Everyone has free will, everyone makes their own choices, and everyone is their only creative force in their lives, and so no one else can have a creative impact in your life, and you can't have a creative impact in someone else's life. So it's important to know that everyone has responsibility for themselves, and so you can release that responsibility that you feel toward other people, especially for healers, because healers tend to want to kind of get emotionally involved with the people that they're helping and want to help them. And so release all responsibility for other people and focus on yourself. Also, they're wanting us to release wishes unfulfilled. Okay, and so what they mean by this is we go through life, first of all, believing society and believing what other people around us tell us, even though they may not be very aware of themselves. And so we believe in these kind of false paradigms that society teaches us about, and also the things that we're kind of told that we should want. Okay, and so we have set desires in our life based on these things that we're told that we should want. And many of those things that you've desired have not been in your life path. In other words, your higher self has known that it's not actually something that your spirit wants in this lifetime. And so, but what happens is, because we've desired it, because our mind has desired it, we can attach negative emotions to that, and so because we haven't been given it, it can make us feel bad. And so they're wanting us to release this. They want us to know that everything that has happened in our life has been perfect and has been aligned with our higher self. And the things that haven't happened have also been aligned with our higher self. And so if something hasn't happened, it hasn't been aligned with our higher self. And so let go of the things that you think maybe you should have had by now, or things that you wanted. So it's the wishes unfulfilled. Let go of those. And so have a fantastic week, and remember to focus on that heart chakra clearing. And so I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.